Welcome friends, in this video we are going to look at English paper 2 for the year 2023, and our focus will be on comprehension and summary writing. So let's begin with comprehension. Now to comprehend simply means to understand. So comprehension depends on the level of your English in terms of understanding. So this one, there is no actual words or formula that I can give you for you to answer this. So it depends on how good are you, what is your level in line with understanding English. So now let's see what we can share. So paragraph 1 reads, football is said to have the power to bring people together regardless of their age, race, gender, culture, or nationality, and that is not far from the reality of the World Cup. It is the most played and watched sport in the world, and because of that, the World Cup is one of the most anticipated sports events, with only the Olympics rivaling it in terms of popularity. So even if we have not finished reading our passage, we know that the whole thing is about football and also what the football does. Now let's look at paragraph 2. The 2010 World Cup was shown in every single country on earth, including the Antarctica, and the competition reached over 3 billion people around the world. The final alone of the 2014 World Cup was watched by over 1 billion people. We move on to paragraph 3. During the World Cup, fans from the same country unite to support their team and their players, all branded under one flag. Even when their country is knocked out of the competition, many fans flock to support another nation they have ties with, or maybe a neighboring country that they would normally consider their rival. I was in South Africa during the 2010 World Cup, and I remember the incredible atmosphere and the good vibes around the Cape Town where I was living. Paragraph 4. When a big game was on, there were hundreds of people in the streets and huge cheers whenever a goal went in. When South Africa scored, the bar, pub, or home where you were watching would go crazy, and you'd send the closest person possible to you to celebrate with them. Everyone seemed to be having a good time and enjoying the competition and the company. Okay. Then 5. In years to come, many South African will reminisce about their whereabouts when Shabalala scored South Africa's first goal of the tournament, an absolute screamer as well, and then followed it up with, in my opinion, one of the greatest World Cup celebrations ever. Paragraph 6. The World Cup has managed to ease political tensions and conflict at certain points as well. An example of how football can unify is when Ivory Coast qualified for the 2006 World Cup in the German and helped to end the civil war that was raging in their country. The war started in 2002 between the Muslim north of the country and the Christian south. Go to paragraph 7. Moments after the Ivory Coast secured qualification, DJ Drogba, the star player of the team and a huge popular figure in the country, begged both warring parties to stop their fighting on national television. The football team was made up of people from a mix of religions and ethnicities who wanted to use their success to help the country end its blood conflict. Within a week, the factions put down their guns and agreed to cease fire. Paragraph 8. There was a lot of negativity and pessimism again when going into the 2018 World Cup, which was held in Russia, due to the racist incidents that characterized the country and the attacks by Russians hooligans at the Euro Championship in France 2 years earlier. However, people should not forget that there were major concerns going into the previous 2 World Cups in South Africa and Brazil, and those tournaments were a great success with no major issues. Number 9, the last one. The World Cup can prove and has proven to be a catalyst for change, and it has an effect of bringing people from different cultures and nationalities together. As Father Mashoud so eloquently put it before the World Cup in South Africa in 2010, the World Cup brings together not just 11 soccer players from one nation team, not just a country support of their side, not just 32 nations, not just hundreds of thousands of fans in stadium across Africa. The World Cup brings together the world. So here, the whole story is about the sports, which is the World Cup, and the benefits that we can get from the World Cup. So we've looked at some World Cups that were held in the previous years. Then here we have some underlying words, like we have the catalyst, we have eloquently, then we have pessimism, we have worrying, we have reminiscing, we have also incredible, rival, branded. Right? Now let's move on to question 1. So before we look at question 1, let's look at what we are supposed to do. So in each of the questions 1 to 9, select the best answer from the 4 options provided. Indicate your answer by drawing a circle around the letter on the question paper, as in the example given below. If you change your mind, cross out the initial choice very neatly and then circle your revised answer clearly. For question 10, answer is instructed. So it's very important you stick to the instructions. So we move on to question 1 in paragraph 1. So the answer is coming from paragraph 1. The statement, with only the Olympics rivaling it in terms of popularity, means the Olympics are. So for you to answer this one, you need to go back to paragraph 1. This time you need to make sure that as you are reading through, you need to make sure you understand the whole thing. So paragraph 1, football is said to have the power to bring people together, regardless of their age, race, gender, culture, or nationality, and that is not far from the reality of the World Cup. It is the most played and watched part of the watched sport in the world, and because of that, the World Cup is one of the most anticipated sport events, with only Olympics. So with only Olympics rivaling it in terms of popularity. So what have you understand by what we've read here? So we go back to, then we look at the multiple choices. So the first one, as popular. So as popular as the World Cup. B, not as popular as the World Cup. C, not popular at all. D, more popular than the World Cup. So we have the thing about the Olympics. So look at the point here. So it is the most played and watched sport in the world, okay, and because of that, the World Cup is one of the most anticipated sports events, with only the Olympics rivaling it in terms of popularity. So here we are like comparing. So the only sports event that can be compared to World Cup is the Olympics, because of the word rival. Rival simply means to compete, the opponent. So the only sport that we can compare is the Olympics. So that is what we are trying to drive here. So that means the Olympics are as popular as the World Cup. So the answer is A. We move on to question 2. We can infer from paragraph 2 that the Antarctica is not. So to infer simply means to conclude. So we are ought to conclude, to make a conclusion that the Antarctica is not. Now, what has the story said about the Antarctica? So let's go back to paragraph 2. The 2010 World Cup was shown in every single country on Earth, including the Antarctica, and the competition reached over 3 billion people around the world. The final alone of the 2014 World Cup was watched by over single country on Earth. Now the question is the Antarctica part of Earth? Yes, it is. But what was the intention? What was the information behind the authors? So the authors' intentions here was that the Antarctica is not that interested in football. But if that is the case, for this one, the Antarctica was also interested. So that was the information behind the authors. So let's go so that we can check. Then we can conclude from the paragraph 2 that the Antarctica is not always interested. So it is not always interested, but for this time it was interested. We have question 3. You would describe the behavior of the fans in paragraph 3 as. So what is paragraph 3 saying? So during the World Cup, fans from the same country unite. So we have unite to support their team and their players, or branded. So to brand it means to become one. So all branded under one flag. Even when their country is knocked out of the competition, many fans flock to support another nation they have ties with, or maybe a neighboring country that they would have normally considered their rival. So their rival is their competitor. I was in South Africa during the 2010 World Cup, and I remember the incredible atmosphere and the good vibes around Cape Town where I was living. Alright, so it's all about unity. So then you describe the behavior of the fans in paragraph 3 as desperate, expectant, happy. So it's all about united. We now move on to question 4. A big game referred to in paragraph 4 is a match involving dash at the World Cup. Now for some questions, it's not all about trying to copy and paste the exact thing that you see from a given paragraph, then you compare it to the given multiple choices. So we are looking at the big game, and we are according to the question, we are looking at the involvement. So if it is the involvement, we are looking at the players, not the fans. So let's look at this. When a big game was on, there was hundreds of people in the streets, and a huge cheers whenever a goal went in. South Africa scored, the bar, pub, or homes where you was watching would go crazy, and you would turn to the closest person possible to you to celebrate with them. Everyone seemed to be having a good time and enjoying the competition and the campaign. Right? So question 4, a big game referred to in paragraph 4 is a match involving. So the whole thing is about here involving. So we are looking at players, not the fans, because the fans are not part of the game. They are just there to support their favorite team. So let's look at multiple choices. A, any team comprises players of high stature. So this is our answer. B, a team supported by many fans. Then C, fans that would go crazy when they celebrate. D, so since it's about involving, we'll look at any team comprises players of the high stature. We move on to question 5. According to paragraph 5, what will men South African talk about in the years to come? So paragraph 5. So in years to come, men South African will reminisce. So reminisce simply means to remember, something like to remember about the past. So we'll remember about their whereabouts when Shabalala scored South Africa's first goal of the tournament, an absolute screamer as well. and they followed it up with, in my opinion, one of the greatest World Cup celebrations ever. So they all remember about it. This person is the first goal. So that is what that paragraph is. So 5, the first one, their country's first goal at the World Cup. B, Shabalala's goal at the World Cup and how he celebrated it. So this is our answer. 6, which of the following is not an example of how football unify people? Is not. So is not. A country supporting another nation has ties with. B, celebrating with the closest. So this is this one is how football. This is how football unifies people. Ending civil war in Ivory Coast unify. This is a unity. Scoring South Africa's first goal at the World Cup. Let's look at this one. So we need to compare A and D. So a country supporting another nation, it has it. So this is also a unity, meaning if your team is out of the league, you can shift your support to a country. So by supporting another country, that is also in. So the only answer is D here. 7, from the information given in paragraph 8, we can tell that the Euro Championship in France was held in. For this one is, I'm sure it's simple, you just have to look at the year. So what paragraph is this one? 8. So paragraph 80, again, when going into the 2018 World Cup, which was held in Russia. So it's 2018. Right, so our answer is C. Then 9, in paragraph 8, the author was dashed that the 2018 World Cup would be a success. So if you look at paragraph 80, there was a lot of negativity, so we have this word, and pessimism. So pessimism has to do with having doubts, like being negative. So again, when going into 2018, right, so we can now go back to our question. So in paragraph 8, the author was dash that there would be a, so was pessimistic. So pessimistic is having doubts. Number 9, which of the following statement is not true about the World Cup according to paragraph 9? The World Cup brings people together. Paragraph 9, so the World Cup can prove and has proven to be a catalyst for change, and it has effect of bringing people from different, the first one, cultures, nationality together. Then right, so eloquently in this concept, it means like you state something, or it's not state like saying. You're saying it wonderfully, you express it in good words. The World Cup brings together not just 11, right? So we can now go back to our question. So question 9, the World Cup brings together a country in support of their side. B, hundreds of thousands of fans in stadium. So we want is not true. C, the warring parties of a ceasefire, the whole world. So the whole world is true. We want something that is not true. This is true. Then a country in support of their side, the warring part to ceasefire is true. Hundreds of thousands fans in the stadiums. Okay, this is true. So for this one, let me first go back to the question. I go through again. So the World Cup can prove and has proven to be a catalyst for change, and it has the effect of bringing people from different cultures. So we have cultures, nationalities, which is nationalities, we are looking at countries. As Father Mashud so eloquently put it before the World Cup in South Africa in 2010, the World Cup brings together not just 11 soccer teams, from one nation, not just a country. Support. Okay, so I'm sure I get the answer here. So we want something that is not true. So which is not true is this one. The warring parties for a ceasefire, because a country in support of this is true, this is true. So answer is C. Now question 10, from the words underlined in the passage, find those that means the same or nearly the same as following words or expressions. So we are looking at the synonyms. Synonyms. So the synonyms are words with a similar or maybe having the exact meaning. So sometimes the word cannot mean exactly, but as long as if it's similar, then we are okay. Roman number 1, express one's idea well. So remember, for this one, we'll go with the eloquently. Now, how do you handle this part of comprehension? In case you meet some words that you've never seen before, maybe words that you don't know their meaning. So you need to look at the sentence. So you need to read through the whole sentence. Look at this one. As Father Mashud so eloquently put it before. So put it before, meaning has this person said it. So that is why we have said that is our answer. Then we go to now Roman number 2, competitor. So competitor is coming from, I'm sure this is paragraph 3, rival. So rival is our answer there. Then think about the past. This is reminisce. I remember, looked at that one. Then extremely good or great. So we'll go with incredible. So we are done with comprehension. Now let's look at the summary. Now, as the word summary, it comes from the word to summarize. So to summarize is to make it short. Then there are do's and don'ts under summary writing. Then what you need to make sure you need to do here is you need to make sure that the information behind the authors must be transferred to the reader. So whatever the person was trying to talk about under this must be exactly be transferred to another, but you need to make sure you write the paragraph or paragraphs that are shorter than the given paragraphs. So you, as the one who is doing the summarizing, your job is to you report. You get one information from one paragraph, then you transfer it into another paragraph. Then here, make sure you are not supposed to add your own opinion. Now, what are we supposed to do whenever we are dealing with a summary? Maybe what can we share from this? So never rush into reading the passage. So what I think you are supposed to do is you need to go to the question, understand the question, then the question will guide you. Now let's look at this. In not more than 140 words, explain what you should do after an accident if you are a motorist. So the whole thing is about what you should do after an accident. So anything, whatever that is not connected in what you should do after an accident should never be considered as a point. So that is the first one. So the first one, go and read the question, make sure you understand, and for this one, it's a guided composition because it has been started for you and you are told what to do. Alright, so let's go to paragraph 1. Remember what you should do after an accident. That's our focus. So let's go in paragraph 1. Let's see if we have a point here. So Here we have road traffic accidents are a growing public health concern globally. Most of the fatal accidents occur owing to overspeeding. Consumption of alcohol to celebrate an occasion is common. However, alcohol reduces concentration. Besides hampering vision, alcohol dampens fear and incites humans to take risks, thereby involving themselves in accidents. Here is like they are giving us what the road accident is, and also then how it can be caused, then the causatives of this. There is no point here because there is nothing like what you can do after an accident. So let's try paragraph 2. It is significant for you as a motorist to appreciate what you need to do in the wake of a road traffic accident. Some motorists are in the habit of driving away from the accident scenes. You are strongly advised not to leave the scene of accident. So point number 1. You are advised not to leave the scene of the accident. I have point number 1. Then the law requires that you report to the police even cases devoid of injuries of fatality. So this is another point number 2, because this is what you're supposed to report. Now, even if you feel that you are the cause of the accident, notify the police. Now, this is a point, but it is connected with this one, so no need of adding it, because our work is to shorten. When the police arrive, you should tell the investigating officer exactly what happened. So this is a point. You should tell the investigating officer exactly what happened. So point number 3. Furthermore, you should make sure that the statements made by other persons involved in the accident are secure. Point number 3. This should be 4. So we have 4 points from paragraph 2. You go to paragraph 3. Distraction can cause major accidents. No, this can emanate from inside and outside the vehicle you are driving. It is important to ensure that your accident does not become a hazard to other motorists or road users. You should, for instance, protect the accident scene by placing triangles about 50 meters away to warn oncoming traffic of the hazard. So this is our 5th point. So this is our 5th point, because it's about what you should do. The major distraction that leads to accidents nowadays is talking on a mobile phone while driving. No, this is what is causing. We are not interested in that. We go to paragraph 4. Pedestrians contribute greatly to accidents because of their crossing busy roads at wrong places and not heading road traffic signs. If you have a camera, you should take pictures of the visible damage to the vehicle. So this is a point. So point number 6. Then the Road Transport and Safety Agents, RATSA, is greatly concerned about seeing pictures of dead and injured persons circulating on the social media. So you are discouraged from taking the pictures of. So here, this is the the don't. You are not supposed to take pictures of the victims, but you can take the pictures of the vehicle. Why are we taking of the vehicle? It is like an evidence. Number 5, the use of seat belts is now mandatory, and not wearing them attracts a penalty. Wearing seat belts reduces the severity of injuries during accidents. It is absolutely essential to seek medical attention soon after an accident. This is a point. It is absolutely essential to seek medical attention soon after an accident. So point number 7. Most of the accident victims report feeling serious pain a day or 2 following an accident. There is a need for you to consult your lawyer who can protect your rights and make sure valuable evidence is not destroyed. So point number 8 here. So there is a need, meaning after an accident you need to consult your lawyer so that you make sure that the evidence is not destroyed. Number 6, the last one. Passengers also contribute to road traffic accidents by projecting their bodies outside moving vehicles, talking to the driver, and trying to catch running buses. If the police do not respond to the accident, you should get the particulars of available witnesses and all persons involved in the accident. So you should get particulars of witnesses and all persons involved in the accident. Point number 9. Where the vehicles obstruct traffic after the accident, it is maybe safer to move them off the road as you wait for the police. So this is a point. So it may be safer to move them off. Point 11. So we have 11. Then fog, heavy rainfall, and windstorm can result in a road traffic accident. It is obviously necessary for you to keep all your accident-related documents intact for future reference. For information, you need a police report to file a claim with your insurance company. So you are supposed to do this. So this is a point. So we've collected about 12 points from our given passage. Then you got your, then in the wake of an accident, you as a motorist should. Now, how do you transfer the points into a new summary? So first, we'll begin with the don't. What are we not supposed to do? So here, you are supposed to write your own now paragraph or paragraphs of your summary. So number 1, here, the do not add your opinions. So never put your opinions. We don't need your opinions. So what you just have to do is just have to transfer the exact words. I mean, not the exact word, but the exact information. Then after do not add your opinions, the other do not that you are supposed to put into consideration is do not use exact words used in the passage. So to summarize this one, we are just saying you need to have the skill of how to paraphrase. So you need to paraphrase, meaning use your own words. When you're now writing it, use your own words, because there is something that we want you as a person to do. Copying and pasting would make things to be easy. So for you, you need to do at least something. Then avoid giving examples. So no need of giving examples in your summary, because you are summarizing. You want to make it short. Even if they have given examples in the original passage, under your summary, never give examples. So there is nothing like e.g., because whenever you give an example, you are increasing the number of words, and our task is want to make it short. So avoid giving examples. Then avoid describing. So you are not supposed to describe, because whenever you try to describe something, you make it long. Then apart from avoid describing, then you are advised to use, if for example you want to write the word cannot, you are advised to use short form can't. Do not, don't. But remember, you don't use this under composition like speech, letter writing, you are not supposed to use this. You are supposed to use, but under summary, you are advised to use these. So these are some of the don'ts that you need to put into consideration. And the other thing is also avoid writing figures like numbers. So whenever you are given numbers in your passage, try to find ways of not including your figures or the numbers in the summary. So with this, and the other thing is you can use the fanboys to help you. Sometimes this can help you to understand or to get where the points are. So funny, you look at for sentences in the passage with the word for, A and, N no, B but, or Y yet, S so. So these words can help you to locate the points, but whenever you use this, make sure that they are all in line with the given question. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.